All right. Say it with me now. We always say it for these kind of movies. It should have been a
TV
series. Yeah.
No, it should have been. Welcome back to Coming This Summer. I want to say this. I think currently right now it's Apple TV or Greenlit.
Action!
Okay.
And I think that's who we need to go
That's where we got to shop. Yeah.
Because let me just say, I'll start this right off the top because we're probably going to, this will be a shorter one and we're going to bury this one, unfortunately, guys. But I will say
I'm
this.
sorry. Yeah.
If you are a fan of war movies, you'll probably like this movie.
Yep.
If you're a fan of visual spectacles, you will probably like this movie to an extent. If you're a fan of historical, actual bio movies and actual, like, well-written, thick screenplays that actually dig deep, you will not like this movie. This is really cool battle sequences stitched together with really shallow highlights of Napoleon, which I don't know why this movie was made. We questioned this before it came out, and now I'm, like, super confused to why this movie was made.
The characters are only themselves in name and outfits.
Yeah, let's get into that real quick.
Essentially nothing
Jaoquin
else.
Phoenix is a great actor. I don't think that can be debated anymore
Hold
if
on,
you look at his resume.
Before you say the big thing, do the Joaquin voice from the movie Napoleon where he plays Napoleon Bonaparte. Do Joaquin Phoenix playing Napoleon Bonaparte. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Napoleon.
No French accent. He doesn't have a French accent.
Any accent.
He talks like we are talking right now is pretty much how he
And here's
speaks
what's more
for the
perplexing.
review. Yeah.
Every other person in the movie has
an accent.
Either British or French.
Yeah. It's
What?
why?
Did he just say, no, I'm not doing an accent?
Even Vanessa Kirby has an accent. Why did he not do an
That's what I'm
accent?
saying. Was he literally like, I'm not doing an accent?
Not even like a touch. And I'm not saying, ready? I'm the
No, exactly.
No. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
That's what I said.
Because that ruins the movie.
It does.
Yeah.
But a lot of movies, they do English accents, even though it's French, because, no offense, fellow Americans, but we're dumb. Not us specifically, but you guys.
We big dumb.
But it doesn't matter. But not even an English accent. Not even like a hold your hand and give you like an intro into some kind of European country accent. It's just like, no, yeah, you can play just like a regular American doing Napoleon. And Napoleon is supposed to be super short, and I never got that feeling.
Joaquin Phoenix is like our height.
And you know what I'm saying? And I know there were certain scenes, but I never got the feeling that, I don't know. I just didn't like the movie. I didn't feel like it was
I don't know
written
how
well.
they depicted Napoleon better in Sean Levy's Night at the Museum 2, Battle for the Smithsonian, starring Ben Stiller, than Ridley Scott's Napoleon.
Yeah, this is a movie that needed to be fleshed out. It needed to be 5 hours.
I would have loved
it
it.
to be
I would have
a weekly hour drop of a
Yes.
series, and they needed to actually not highlight the events and barely give you a nugget. They open up the movie with Marie Antoinette's head getting chopped off. That's not a spoiler. I mean, that's literally the first 14 seconds of the movie.
the first scene.
They drag her out to the thing. They cut off her head. It looks amazing. They look like they're in France in the 1700s.
They didn't even need to say who that was.
No, you know who it is.
I know who that
You're
is.
Like, okay,
I'm in.
Napoleon doesn't talk. He looks mad that they killed her. He has this like disgruntled face. He looks around the crowd. We get the title card, and I'm like, okay, all right. And then we're like, on to somewhere. Skip forward.
Yeah, we're gonna have these really
And it's
hard to read title cards.
And it's just skip forward. Yeah, and we get these like highlights of his life instead of really digging into the stuff. I don't know. It was just such a
We are gonna compare this to Oppenheimer a lot because it is a 3-hour movie depicting a historical
bio
figure
without too far going back.
without going too far back. I actually do like Oppenheimer's 3 kind of acts, kind of jumping around from this point to this point to this point, rather than going
Linear.
I'm going from point A to point B, but somehow I'm going to do A1, and then I'm going to go A5, and then we're going to show you
A3.
A7. Oh, and then back to A3.
though.
We
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
go back, and then it was just a jumbled mess of jumping through time periods. So you're right. Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon, despite not doing the
This is what I'm
accent,
trying to say.
was great.
I found him to actually be like, he looks torn. He looks, you know what I mean? All the parts and all the things that he needs to be. He looks the part.
Ridley Scott watched Joker and said, "Dude, I got a movie for you."
He feels like he's doing like a more grounded Joker.
Yeah, like where he's not in a
Sincerely.
Gotham.
Right, he's not like gonna go like, but
Yeah.
but he's like he's got this internal rage, and he's got like again he's playing a great character,
Demons.
but it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like Napoleon. It just
No.
feels like another general.
No, he goes, your dear. He like writes the my dear. He does the Kenny. My dearest brothers.
But it's like my dearest.
yeah, my dearest. What's her name? What's Vanessa Kirby's name? Josephine.
Josephine.
My dearest Josephine. Your dear, I am filled with melancholy. That's the voice he does for the whole movie.
But
oh my
again,
god!
put the thing on mute. If you got like a nice OLED TV when this comes out to Apple TV,
Put it on mute.
just put it on mute. That's how I can think of watching it. Instead of it's loud. Yeah, I mean that sounds good, but like the battles look good and they do.
The battles look good.
But you put mute
Yeah.
on most of it because a lot of the scenes are just exposition that they don't go anywhere. They run through the historical parts of the movie to get back to the cool battles that they absolutely know are there. And a lot of them do feel gladiator-esque. There are some battle fights that feel super huge, but then when you watch the characters, they don't feel big at all. The characters feel like cardboard characters because you get no back. You know what I mean? There's like nothing substance.
Yeah.
And then the battles are like, do I care about these people?
Yeah, they get to like, we jump forward. It's the Battle of Waterloo, blah, 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 whatever. We got the Prussians coming in and the France fighting Britain, right?
Right.
Britain general guy comes rolling up and he's like, I'm going to get a shit ton of scenes in this third act, so you better know who the fuck I am. It's like, I don't, guy. I don't know who you, I have no idea who this character is. And it's like, Prussians are coming in and it's like, I'm the general, you better, I got a lot of shit in this third act.
I'm gonna talk
better
now.
know who I am. And it's like, okay, but this has been a Napoleon movie where we've only seen Napoleon stuff. At least by the third act of Oppenheimer, it wasn't like, and Robert Downey Jr. It's like, but we've been getting him the whole movie.
Yeah, he was slowly getting fed more and more and more into the movie.
Where were these British and Prussian, like Russian stuff? Like you focus too much on Napoleon and like the inner dramas of him rather than him leading France or like being the general of
weird.
whatever.
They didn't get enough into that side of the stuff. There's like really weird, long, super like intense scenes that don't need to be intense. There's a scene where the kid wants his sword back from his dead dad, and it just goes on for like 10 minutes. And Napoleon's grilling this kid. Well, why do you want the sword back? Well, because it was my dad's. But yeah, but why? Because my mom told me to come get it.
Okay,
yeah, but why?
Civilians can't have weapons. And he's like, it's commemorative. And he's like,
and I'm not kidding. It's literally like.
He's like, grumble, grumble, grumble. Kid walks out, and then he's just like
well,
in this sword cellar.
I guess I'll go get the sword for the kid after this 10-minute meeting
of me. Doesn't even say that. It's just like cut in the sword cellar.
No. Cut up.
And it's like, and the scene still goes. We're still going, by the way. It's the door. It's the Doors episode, interdimensional cable episode of Rick. Is the commercial still going? It's like,
that's right.
Where he's
he goes home
cooking eggs in the middle of this TV advert. It's like he's like in the sword cellar. None of these are named. No, we didn't name him. Should have named him. Well, we didn't. Grabs any sword and then just goes to the boy's house. And we're still going. Goes to the boy's house. Meets Vanessa Kirby. Should I say anything? No. Okay. Here's your sword. And then it 10 minutes of this fucking sword scene.
And I know we got to meet Josephine because that's one of
the examples.
But like, did we need the little, like, why is he grilling the boy? And then why did he feel bad about grilling the boy?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Where does the rest of her kids show up for the rest of the fucking movie? Doesn't she have 3 kids at the beginning of the movie, but then marries Napoleon, and then her 3 kids disappear for the rest of the movie? I don't know what the fuck happened.
And I know, and I don't think this should be completely compared to Oppenheimer, other than it is a semi-biopic.
I'm
and it's
only
3 hours
comparing
long.
it that way.
But that's why it is.
Yeah.
People are going to.
Yep.
But Oppenheimer's 1,000 times better.
Oppenheimer,
Holy
as
Jesus,
it
I would
is,
watch
it's so
it.
much
I'd
better.
watch it 3 times back in a row before I'd watch this.
Yeah.
I would. I'm sorry.
This movie was dry.
It was agony.
It was so dry.
Agony. The screenplay, I'm telling you guys, it was written like it was literally.
This movie had no
exposition.
Yeah.
Exposition, battle. Exposition. Cut to battle. 20 minutes of battle. Now we've changed the timeline to a different thing now.
Now we're eating again.
Now it's boring fucking, And then they would throw like, hey, but here's a half-naked Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah, but Vanessa Kirby gets banged in every act, so.
But that's what I mean. Like, it was like rinse and repeat.
What?
This movie.
Yeah, what? What are we doing? Yeah.
I'm going to give it, just based on Joaquin's performance and the
There's
visual
like a 5-minute waiting for the rain to stop at the fucking battle. What are we doing? The camera's pan on Joaquin Phoenix.
There's a bunch of those long
waiting
shots.
for the ground to dry. Okay, I don't want to wait for the ground to dry. I want to watch the fucking movie.
You know what it reminded me of? It was George R.R. Martin-esque.
Yeah.
Like where it's like, so then he strapped his boots on
Mm-hmm.
and tied them one lace at a time. It's like, I know how people tie their goddamn shoes. I don't need to see it.
He put his boots on.
Right. Yeah. I assume he put his shoes on anyway. I don't even need a scene about it.
They waited for the ground to dry. That saves 20 minutes of runtime right there. Fuck, it is like 20 minutes of this rain. And then the rain just disappears. And then we fight.
Everything is fart smelling in this movie.
Ridley Scott, what happened? Just go make Alien.
It's like, okay, so we're going to linger on this scenery. Okay, for how long?
Forever.
Until I feel like it. When's lunch? How long? We got 40 minutes, so linger for 40 minutes until the crew needs to take a lunch.
Rids, yeah.
I know you're old. I know he's an older guy.
We're like $150 million over budget. If you want to wrap this thing up,
I get it.
We've spent a week on Joaquin Phoenix waiting in a tent for rain to stop. And it's really hard to wait for rain to come and get those rain shots.
What you didn't know is that was real, and they were just waiting for the rain to stop. And they just worked it into the movie.
It's Joaquin Phoenix's disgruntled face because they couldn't take him out of the outfit for 2 hours. Fucking
I'd have paid for that movie
24
way more.
hours. Oh my god.
I'm gonna just give this a flat 5.
By the end of the movie, Joaquin Phoenix.
He looks like he's over the movie. He does. He looks like he's over being Napoleon, which he probably was at that point. I just picture the meeting when his agent went to him and he's like, "I'm not doing that movie. I'm not doing a French accent.
I'm doing Joker 2. I'm not doing that movie.
What if we told you could do it?" And he probably said, "I'll do the movie under one condition. I don't have to do a French accent," and then laughed because they said there's no way they're going to say yes to that. That's what happened. And then the agent went, Ridley Scott said, "No problem." And he went, "Are you serious?" They're okay with me just doing no accent at all. Yeah, he said, "No, they're all."
Yeah, we already signed the contract.
Apple already
for
gave
you.
him the check. They said it's like $200 million. He said, "I don't care if you do Meatwad's voice from Adult Swim, from Aqua Teen Hunger Force at this point. I don't care."
My dearest Josephine.
Josephine. Yeah, no, I just, yeah.
I'm the melancholy. I keep cutting off your number. I'm sorry.
5.
Yeah, 5 out
Just
of 10.
a flat.
Ooh, earns the same as Family Switch there. Not too good for Napoleon.
Actually, let me 4.7 because I probably enjoyed Family Switch better than Napoleon.
Yeah, I'll give it a 5. It was visually
it's great.
Pleasing.
Yeah.
Not as visually pleasing as Oppenheimer.
Go see it in IMAX, and for the last week you can.
Yeah. Beyonce kicks it out on the weekends, though.
That's true.
So I might maybe squeeze in, because we do the A-list thing, I might go pop in 10 minutes
Yeah,
fucking
just a nice
Napoleon.
visuals
Because
on
I
it.
can.
It does,
Yeah,
and
fuck
it looks good.
Maybe
But,
grab
yeah.
some popcorn and
Stand in the doorway.
leave when it's done. Yeah. So go, subscribe, do that. Yeah. Design, just right out the gate.
Especially
You're
when
better
She-Hulk
off
is sitting next to Hulk, and Hulk looks like he's from a different movie in the same
because they just
television
used the
show.
Endgame asset and they said, yoink.
You're like, why does he look better than her? And they're supposed to be next to each other when it looks out of place. Like that looks like a
looks
video
super
game
out
next
of
to a
place.
real character.
It looks super out of
was bad.
place.
And
Yeah,
I don't know
it was
if I
rough.
want Moon Knight season 2. I don't know if I want that.